Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game of Thrones. We're going to be starting Season 4, Episode 1. I'm a little nervous to be watching this, to be honest with you. The last couple episodes were pretty rough to watch. I took a week off. I wasn't going to, like I usually do, but I ended up doing it just because it was pretty brutal. So I can't say that I'm excited to get into this. I do want to see what happens, but it's honestly been a bit of a stressor for me. But maybe some good things will happen. I don't know. Yeah, we'll jump right into it, and hope you all stay tuned and enjoy. Game of Thrones.
They will continue to do so when you go home.
Home?
You'll return to Casterly Rock and rule in my stead.
You are the Lord of Casterly Rock.
I am the King's Hand. My place is here. I don't expect to see the Rock again before I die.
You know what they call me? Kingslayer, Oathbreaker, man without honor. Now you want me to break another sacred vow.
You won't be breaking anything. There is a precedent to relieve a King's Guard of his duties. The King will exercise that prerogative.
No.
No?
No.
I don't believe I asked you a question.
There's my answer.
If you think your bloody honor comes before
My
your
bloody
family...
honor is beyond repair. But my answer is still no. I don't want Casterly Rock. I don't want a wife. I don't want children.
What do you want?
Supper would be nice.
For 40 years I've tried to teach you. If you haven't learned by now, you never will. Go. If serving as a glorified bodyguard is the sum of your ambition, go serve.
I suppose you want the sword back.
Keep it. A one-handed man with no family needs all the help he can get.
Wow. I mean, I assume he just wants to stay close to his sister, which is why he was saying no. I mean, it's good to say no to your father once in a while. I mean, specifically the Lannisters, because their father, I mean, he's always making calls and stuff. I mean, he is, from everything I've seen up to this point, he seems to be trying to do things for the better of the family. I don't appreciate his interactions with the imp. Tyron, I don't think that he treats him right. It's got to be hard for both of them, to be honest, but I still think he doesn't treat him right. And now Jaime only has one hand, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. So
some accomplished diplomacy, that was. Now where?
You must find Prince Oberyn before he kills somebody, or several somebody.
How do you plan on finding a single Dornishman in a city this big?
You're famous for fucking half of Westeros. Just arrived at the capital after 2 weeks of bad road. Where would you go?
I'd probably go to sleep, but I'm getting old.
Yeah. Where would you go? That's funny. Yeah, I'd go to sleep too after 2 weeks of riding. I guess I'm getting old too. Man, I really like their camaraderie, the two of those guys. I think they do well together. They bounce off each other well, and their comments are hilarious.
You think you're gold, and your lions and your gold lions make you better than everyone. I tell you a secret. You're not a golden lion. You're just a pink little man who's far too slow on the draw. Longsword is a bad option in close quarters. When I pull my blade, your friend starts bleeding quite a lot, I'm afraid. So many veins in the wrist. He'll live if you get him help straight away. So, decisions.
Prince Oberyn, forgive the intrusion. We heard there might be trouble.
Apologies, my love.
Wow. Wow. Found someone who hates Lannisters more than Robb Stark did. Jeez. This prince is an interesting character, to say the least. I think that's fair to say he is interesting. Not sure how I feel about him yet, but I don't know. We'll have to find out more about him.
My sister Elia and Rhaegar Targaryen, the last dragon. My sister loved him. She bore his children, swaddled them, rocked them, fed them at her own breast. Elia wouldn't let the wet nurse touch them. And beautiful, noble Rhaegar Targaryen left her for another woman. That started a war, and the war ended right here. When your father's army took the city.
Wasn't actually.
They butchered those children. My nephew and niece carved them up and wrapped them in Lannister cloaks.
Wasn't there. I don't know what.
If the mountain killed my sister, your father gave the order. Tell your father I'm here. And tell him the Lannisters aren't the only ones who pay their debts.
Lannisters are not the only ones that pay their debts. That's interesting. That's interesting. So he really doesn't like the Lannisters. I mean, at least we heard a little bit about why, and it makes sense. If all of that is true, it makes sense why he wouldn't like the Lannisters at all. But looks like we're on to Khaleesi. I'm not sure what her next move is, so time shall tell. Oh, they are getting bigger. They are getting bigger. What would you say, maybe like teenage size now, or like, I still don't think they're fully grown, but much bigger than what they were. The dragons, that is, of course.
Dragons, Khaleesi. They could never be tamed. Not even by their mother.
That is interesting. The dragons not being able to be tamed. I mean, it's bad to get in between an animal like that and their food. Like, that's kind of dumb. But, you know, I'm sure dragons, I mean, they're pretty much wild, right? I mean, obviously with her, she raised them, so there is that familiarity with her and them. But yeah, I don't know. They're still dragons.
Your mother would want you to carry on. You know it's true.
Will you pardon me, my lord? I'd like to visit the Godswood.
Of course, of course. Prayer can be helpful, I hear.
I don't pray anymore. It's the only place I can go where people don't talk to me.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. I think he is honestly just trying to help her, but I mean, she probably sees him as the enemy. I mean, he is a Lannister, and the Lannisters killed her family, so I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. You know, it's one of those situations where I don't know how long it'll take her to be okay, or if she'll ever be okay. But you know, she just needs time. Curious how Arya's doing. Hopefully she's doing okay. She seems to be more infuriated than letting the emotions, like the sorrow, or not sorrow, but the grieving. She's grieving differently. But everybody grieves in their own way.
Forgetting Tyrion.
You don't really plan on staying in the King's Guard, do you?
Staying in the King's Guard means I live right here, in the Red Keep, with you.
Not now.
I want. Not now. When? I've been back for weeks. Something's changed.
Everything's changed. You come back after all this time with no apologies in one hand and expect everything to be the same.
What do you want me to apologize for?
For leaving me.
You think I wanted to be taken prisoner?
Don't know what you wanted. You weren't here. You left me. Alone.
Every day I was a prisoner. I plotted my escape. Every day. I murdered people so I could be here with you.
It took too long.
Wow, what a bitch. Just, plain and simple. Sorry if that offends anybody, but, there is the whole incest thing that I don't like, but she is not treating him well, not even for a brother or a lover. I mean, he was freaking captive. Like, what does she expect? I don't know.
I know we've had our differences, Tormund, but just one time, before you die, you really ought to try Crow.
Roll!
Wow, okay. So I don't know who these guys are, but apparently they're cannibals. Or are they not human? I mean, I think they're human, so I would assume they're cannibals. Interesting marks, scars, but they seem to be done purposely, because it's more of a design. But, yeah. Very interesting.
That's the truth. All the truth. Do you intend to execute me? Or am I free to go?
None of us are free. We are men of the Night's Watch. But we won't be taking your head today, Jon Snow. Go on.
This is a gamble, being honest with them, but I guess it's going to work out okay for him. I hope they believe him, otherwise they're screwed. You know what I mean? Because the guys that are on the other side of the wall, the south side, I'm sure they'll be able to open the gates for all the other men to come through. 100,000 of them, that's a lot, and the giants and everything. I don't know. The Night's Watch doesn't have that many men, it doesn't appear. I'm not sure what the actual numbers are, but just doesn't sound like it's going to be a good time for the Night's Watch.
I am acting commander here, Maester Daemon.
Yes, you are.
And I don't trust the bastard.
He told the truth.
And you
All the King's Guard will be on duty, of course. Sir Boros will be stationed here. Sir Preston will be stationed here beside the primary entertainment. Your Grace?
Yes, one guard at the thing. Go on.
Baron will guard Lady Marjorie and Tommen.
I've always guarded the king himself, my lord. Ever since your absence.
And I thank you for it, Sir Baron.
Oh, very good. I don't expect any trouble.
The people love their king. They know who keeps them fed.
Marjorie Tyrell, I'd heard.
By my leave. They know I saved the city. They know I won the war.
The war's not won. But what?
Is there? For a 40-year-old knight with one hand? How can you protect me with that?
I use my left hand now, Your Grace. Makes for more of a contest.
Never repay you. You gave me my life. But this is worth more than my life.
It belonged to my mother and her mother before her.
I'll wear it with pride, Sir Dontos.
What a nice drunk. I would be drunk too if I was a fool. Why not? Man, that's super nice of him. I mean, it's nice he remembers her and what she did for him. That was a brutal moment too, with King Joffrey trying to kill him off and stuff, and force giving him wine. I don't know. That's terrible. That's terrible. But yeah, that's super nice of him. Hey! Arya.
When am I going to get a horse of my own?
Little lady wants a pony.
The lady wants away from your stench.
Horses aren't easy to come by.
You still got it?
Got what?
My sword. Needle.
Needle. Of course you named your sword.
Lots of people name their swords.
Lots of cunts. Well, you get back.
My brother gave me that sword.
Get back here.
He killed my friend.
I don't care if he ate your friend. We're not going in there.
We like wherever we go. These are the king's colours. No one's standing in his way now, which means no one's standing in ours.
Fuck the king.
I heard that Joffrey's dog had tucked tail and run from the Battle of the Blackwater. I didn't believe it. But here you are.
Here I am.
Oh geez. Things are getting a little tense here. Good for the dog though. Speaking up. Fuck the king. Absolutely. Man. I don't know what's gonna happen, but 1 against 5. Not good odds on an empty stomach, as he said, but I bet he could take him. But hopefully it won't come to that. But we shall see.
You're a talker. Listening to talkers makes me thirsty. And hungry. Think I'll take 2 chickens.
You don't seem to understand the situation.
I understand that if any more words come pouring out your cunt mouth, I'm gonna have to eat every fucking chicken in this room.
You lived your life for the king. You're gonna die for some chickens.
Someone is.
Well, I'm glad he's living so far. He's taken out at least 2 of them, probably more. So hopefully he's going to be all right. I was surprised Arya didn't jump into action, but at the same time, she's unarmed. She's a child, and there's swords flying everywhere. So I don't know if that would have been wise anyways. There she goes. There she goes. Arya. Arya.
Can you walk? I've got to carry you.
Carry me.
Hey, he got his chicken. Woo! She get her horse? She get her horse? Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well done, both of them. Very well done. That's awesome. Okay, so I'll wrap up my thoughts and share them with you here at the end. But I just want to say this reignited my love for Game of Thrones, and I guess it's fair to say it's a love-hate relationship. But just the fact it had a beautiful ending. Nobody I love died. Sansa's still struggling a lot, and so that's rough to see. But Arya, she's out there. She's murdering people. Like, good for her. Good for her, helping the dog out. Great ending. Man, that was fun. That was good fun. That was good fun. Really enjoyed this episode. Really, really good start to season 4. There was a lot that happened. I didn't necessarily have a lot of response to say to things, but I just loved watching it. Like, it was a lot of fun. I will go ahead and edit this and bring up some more things if I have anything more to discuss, but well done. Great episode. Good start to season 4. It wasn't tragic. It wasn't heart-wrenching. It was good. It was well done, and I needed that break and to reignite my fire in me for Game of Thrones rather than the struggles of season 3. Boy, season 3 was hard. But season 4, here we go. Let's go. You've made it to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed that episode. That was a really good start to season 4. Nothing too tragic happened either, which I appreciate. Just a couple notes. You know, I'm always going to be honest and real with you all. There are things about Game of Thrones I don't really appreciate or enjoy, even though they are a part of the plot. I have addressed them some in the comments with people, but, you know, I love it. I mean, it's good. It's good. Like, there's no other show I'd rather be reacting to than Game of Thrones, and it has nothing to do with the views or anything like that. It's just there's stuff to react to, you know, like it's just you don't know what's gonna happen. So I really enjoy it, and it's great opening to season 4. Seriously, it's been stressful after the last season though, and I'm sure there will be more stressful moments to come. But man, that was tough to watch season 3. Season 4, I'm glad they started us off, you know, smoothly for the most part. I am a little upset with how Jaime Lannister's family's treating him. Like, the guy was captured, you know. I don't know. I feel like, give him a break. He lost his freaking hand. And you're going to just treat him like crap or less than. I don't know if it's partly because he's missing part of his hand or like the Queen said, it's because he's been gone so long. But I don't fathom like how that makes sense. You know, it wasn't his fault that he was captured, and pretty much they're putting the blame on him rather than anybody else. And so it's just interesting the way they're treating him. I don't really like it. I feel like Jaime's kind of grown as a person, and I just don't think that his family should be treating them the way they are. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a lot to say this episode, so I'm sorry this is a bit of a shorter episode. I hope you still enjoyed. I'd rather have shorter episodes, though, than ramble nonsense. You know, I don't want to just go on and go on and go on if I've got nothing to say. So leave a like if you enjoyed. I know some of you are just starting out watching Game of Thrones, so probably aren't caught up to Season 4 yet with me as far as watching my reactions. And I appreciate that. Those of you that just started, and I really appreciate those of you that have been here the whole time. Again, I never mean to offend anybody, so I'm sorry if I do. Just a side note, last episode, the picture I showed with Khaleesi and stuff, I was not at all trying to make like a parallel or a connection with the two. It's just the way I perceived the hand gestures they were doing. Like, that's what I pictured in my head. Be it right or wrong, it's what I pictured. So, but I definitely didn't mean to offend anybody, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm sorry we took a week off. I had to with season 3. I couldn't have kept going. I am out of town this upcoming weekend. I'm really going to try to get videos put together and put out. I can't guarantee that we're going to have a bunch of content next week. I'm really going to try, but I've got to put real life first. I'm not going to put my life on hold to make content. I would love to be able to do that. If this was my career, it would be a different story. We'd be pumping videos out all the time. It would be consistent. You'd always have them. But it's just a hobby. It's just for fun. And so I can't always be consistent as much as I'd like to. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed today's episode. I will hopefully see you next week with episode 2. But yeah, stay tuned for more Game of Thrones as we continue on through the show. Bye.
Thank you.